Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me in this video series. I'm super excited about today because the stories I've shared so far have really been when I was much younger. So what I'm going to go over today is stuff that happened really like in my adult life. And I think there's a marked difference, right, between experiences when you're little versus an adult. So just a couple quick reminders. If you have a story that you want to share, please feel free to email it to me. It's hannahshauntings@gmail.com. And I'm super excited to share your stories. So definitely get them to me and I will include the link for the email in that. And if you have not already, please don't forget to click like and subscribe. And let's get into it. So I've had some stuff happen like as an adult that really can't be explained. And a former partner of mine was Native American. And, that comes with a certain subset of beliefs, right? And he had, for lack of a better way of explaining it, the ability to talk to spirits. And it wasn't a situation where he would seek them out. It was a situation where they would seek him out. And what happened a lot of the time is when he would get these visits, like typically they were at night, it would come across to essentially like a nightmare, but he would wake up in the middle of the night completely freaking out because oftentimes, these visits were not pleasant. I later learned that his dad, I believe the term is medicine man. I'm not super familiar. But his dad had the ability to communicate with spirits, but it was a different situation. He could talk to them outside of being asleep, right? But with my partner, it only happened when he was asleep, if that makes sense. And so because of that, anytime he got a visitor, weird stuff would start happening at our apartment or wherever we lived at the time. We were together for over 10 years. So throughout that time period, there was a lot of things that happened. But what really sticks out to me most is we lived in an apartment that had a lot of activity. And a big reason for that, we believed anyway, is at one point in its history, there was a fire in this complex and several people died, like 35 died. And so we believed that's who was visiting him. But weird stuff would happen. So I've had cupboard doors open and close. I've had stuff fall off of shelves, things of that nature. But really the most traumatic thing that happened was at night. And I always slept with a fan on. I don't know about you, but white noise is my thing when I'm sleeping. Like it always is comforting to me. Anyway, and so that's just how I slept, right? And I would sleep with that fan like basically right on my face. And so on this particular night, I had my fan on like I always do. And the best way to explain it is I thought I heard something, right? Like whisper in my ear, but I couldn't tell what it said, but I got this feeling of like menacing and I immediately got scared. And so I put the blanket over my head because I was like, I don't know what to do. This works, right? So I put the blanket over my head and then I feel like this rapid, like someone's repeatedly hitting the blanket. And at first I thought, well, could it be like the fan catching the blanket and making it kind of flap like that? But I realized I had the blanket like tucked. So there's no way that like the air is traveling underneath it essentially. And so this flapping continues for like a hot, like I'd say 15 seconds, and I'm completely freaking out. And then all of a sudden, something picked up and pulled out the corner of the blanket that I had tucked, like literally up. And then in that moment, I heard, I guess what could be best described as a scream. And it was like right in my face, but I couldn't see anything. I could just hear it. And I screamed. And my partner woke up and we turned on the lights and we're like, what is going on? And I explained to him what happened. And he's like, well, that makes sense because I got visited tonight. Um, so the next day we called his dad and explained what happened. And his dad's like, okay, no big deal. Like, you just need to smudge the apartment and you're going to be fine. So we went through the process of doing that. And thankfully nothing like that, ever happened again. But I can't, cupboards opening and closing and like stuff falling off of things, counter shelves, whatever. It happened so frequently that after that, it was like anytime something went down like that, we would just smudge the apartment because we knew whatever it was visiting my partner. And until we did that, it was not going to go away. And so that was a very interesting living experience. And the weird thing is it was never consistent. Like, we could go a couple years and nothing weird would happen, but then all of a sudden there would be this flurry of activity and there wasn't any like correlating, a particular time of year or anything like that. So anyway, it was all very super weird. But the cool thing about this story is I want to move on now to a friend of mine, Tisa, who lived in the same apartment complex we did where the vast majority of the activity happened. So this is where the fire happened, right? So she lived in the apartment across the hallway from us. And her and I became fast friends. And we got to talking one night just about paranormal stuff. And she's like, it's so weird that you say that because I feel like there's people here. Not all the time, but like sometimes. And so I had her explain to me like, well, what kind of things was happening. So as an example, she would hear footsteps going down the hallway when everybody was in bed. She would hear knocking noises. Her stove turned on one time, like on its own. And the only reason she realized it was because she'd gone into the kitchen to get some water and could feel the heat coming off of the stove and was like, what the hell? And turned it off. And so what we deduced, just based on what we knew about the history of the apartments, is we assumed, since so many people died there, it probably was just those people, right? Because, I mean, they died tragically. It was all very terrible. But there was definitely a presence in both of our apartments. But she also had a dog, Chief, a cute little Chihuahua. And he would do this thing where he would just kind of stare at it in the corner of a room and just freeze. Not all the time, but just sometimes. And Chief was all over the place all the time. So when he did stuff like that, it was just weird. But he never would get, he wouldn't get growly or anything. He would just look. But so we firmly believe that, first of all, that apartment complex is 100% haunted. And we both experienced, varying degrees of that, in general. And my poor friend Tisa, she's going through it right now. So she's currently staying at a new place. And weird stuff's happening there. Like, she showed me a video of a Pepsi can literally being pushed off of her like bedside table into a garbage, like the little garbage bin next to it, like out of nowhere for no reason. She's also feeling like cold breezes. She's sometimes thinking that like she's hearing somebody whispering in her ear, but then it's gone right away. And this is at a new place, totally unrelated. So she's had some additional experiences. So I've asked her to kind of break them down for me and provide them. But the soda can is just one she was able to provide right away. So I just thought that was crazy, right? Like, what is going on? Anyway. Oh, sorry. My allergies are so bad right now, you guys. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know if it's, excuse me. I don't know if it is the air quality or what is going on, but my allergies have been so bad the last couple months. It's just so weird. Anyway, I need to get that dealt with. But once Tisa sends me her other experiences, I will definitely make sure to share them with you, because she's starting to get kind of scared. Like, whatever's going on is definitely on the aggressive side of things, and that's never fun. You know what I mean? Anyway, so we will get into that. But anyway, you guys, so that's it for today. Just another glimpse into some of the experiences that I've had. I do want to say thank you to those of you who have reached out and shared your stories with me. I'm compiling a list, and I'm just going to create videos based on that. So thank you again for taking the time to do that for me. I absolutely appreciate it. So just a reminder again, if you want to send me a story, hannahshauntings@gmail.com. I will definitely make sure to include the link below. And until next time, guys, stay spooky. Ooh.